Hey everybody, EDC with JRD here, and got a little something for you to look at real quick while I talk about what this video is actually about. As of a couple days ago, I had over 25 knives in my collection. I am down to 9. I did not come across any financial hardships, but a friend of mine did, and they were going to be homeless. And it was no fault of their own. Something happened to them. They royally got hosed over, and so I sold a lot of blades. I got my collection down to ones it hurt to even think about getting rid of, and that's why I knew it was, I'm going to keep them. And I got to the goal. I wanted to get $500 around that saved up, and I have that in my PayPal account, and I'm giving it to them. But we're going to go over what I kept and why I kept it and what is my favorite blade to carry. I had a couple people ask me that. This is not one of my favorite blades to carry, even though I love this blade. So we're going to jump in and go straight into this one. CRKT Pillar or Pillar or whatever everybody wants to argue over what it's actually called. Now this one, Daily Blades 1 on Instagram, absolutely knocks it out of the park with his hand custom. Like, this is not done by machine. He does this by hand. This whole blade, he completely customized it. The Pillar is only a what, $30 blade, but what he does to it, I'm so glad I ran across this, and I'm going to be sending out one of my other knives on this table to him. But we're going to go over it. $30 blade, 8CR MOV 13, standard pocket clip, tip up, tip down, right hand only. Nice little opening hole, frame lock. Smooth, not on washers, it's on Teflon. But he polished it up. Custom ano, custom backspacer, hand filed, custom on the scales. Puts a new edge on it, and then acid washes the blade. Even if this wasn't customized, this would have been probably one of my favorite ones to keep, because even with extra large hands, I can get up on that. That jimping would have been something I thought about doing myself on one, because getting up there is just really nice. You could do some work, non-threatening. I mean, it's like, what, a 2-inch blade? So most people don't even think about anything being dangerous at that size. Definitely worth keeping, especially if you just get a standard one, $29. You can send it to him and he'll do the work on it and send it back, and it will be custom. Won't match mine because he doesn't do them the same. He does every one a little different. It's really cool. So the CRKT Pillar is the first one on my list to keep. We're going to go into the second one. Oh, deployment fails. Oh man, I need to look down instead of at the camera. There we go. All right, Kershaw Emerson with the Wave. Sold an Emerson. Actually, I gave one away at the beginning of the 100 giveaways, 100 subscriber giveaway. But I also had another one, and I sold that one. What is it? 3 1/4 inch blade, 7 3/4 overall. Just under 1/2 inch, G10 steel, $35. But you know what? Everybody's got to have that one blade. Oh no, I got to do some heavy work. I'm sorry. My Para 2 can do the heavy work. But if I got a chance to break something, I'm not taking this. I'm going to take this. And just, if it breaks, it's $35. Not too worried, I'll replace it. But out of the $35, hard to beat. So we're going to go up in price a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Let me move this out of the way. Let's see. Next one in the price range of under $100. Kershaw Link. But the problem is, this isn't your standard Kershaw Link. Kershaw Links run $30, $40, depending on if it's the steel or the plastic. It's 8CR MOV 13, I think, or the 14C28N, possibly. I think it's the 14C28N. But aluminum handles, red, blue backspacer, USA made, deep pocket clip. Let's get this. This is why this one stayed. Let's see, come on, S35VN. Absolutely love this knife. The steel is great. And let's just reach for a piece of paper real quick. I mean, come on. Just like, it's butter. Great knife. A little bit of a stone wash finish on the blade. So it picks up fingerprints, but not too crazy. Not like satin. Carries well. Spring assist. I like spring assist. Some people don't. I only have 2 spring assist knives, but I really do like it. I mean, if I'm going to go someplace and I'm like, hey, it's a possibility of needing something, a little preview there, needing a defense. I want something that when I deploy it, it's going to deploy. Absolutely great knife. House of Blades edition. I think they run $79. Got this on a trade, and it's not going anywhere. A little jimping back there. But let's set that here, which is also going to bring me to my next blade. All right, guys. We're going to jump into the next one, which is the 0770 by Zero Tolerance. Super familiar if you look at the link. But we're going to go over why I kept 2 familiar knives. Blade shape's a little different. The reason I went with keeping both of these, the 770 is a little thinner. Blade stock is about the same. Maybe the Kershaw is a little bit less. Actually, the Kershaw has the same blade steel as 35VN, but I kept this one for the weight. I kept this one because I don't have another red knife. Absolutely love it. Love the blue backspacer. Just gorgeous. I kept this one because of the weight, and it just is a workhorse. Carry this one probably second most out of all my blades. Nice liner lock. Really overbuilt liner lock compared to most. You start getting into, here, let's flip this out. Look at that. The Sage, great liner lock. ZT, even better. So we're going to go into this knife. Pretty much the same thing as the Kershaw. 3 1/4. Yeah, 3 1/4. And overall is 7 1/2. So it's a hair shorter than the Kershaw. I think the Kershaw is 7 5/8. Love the carbon fiber. Backspacer, I think I'm going to put barrel spacers in. And deep carry clip again with it. This is going to Daily Blades 1 on Instagram. Same guy that did the Pillar. He's going to custom do the blade. Bronze the pivot and the screws. I'm going to ask him to put backspacer, take the backspacer out and put barrel spacers in, and bronze the deep carry pocket clip. So again, customizing it, making it my own, but I will miss it because I carry this thing a lot. $180. I got this for less. Had a friend of mine that sells blades, and I got it brand new for less. Still at 180. You're talking the same range as the next knife. Totally worth it. Absolutely great knife. Some people don't like spring assist. I know Nick Shabazz says this would be a great knife if it wasn't spring assisted. I like the spring assist. Birdshot 4 loves this knife. I think this is Frankie's favorite knife. And Bird likes it too. He's always trying to get a hold of it. Such a great built knife at the weight it's awesome. Another one of my knives, I sold a Sebenza. You asked me, why would you sell a Sebenza? Because I had this. I sold the Sebenza a couple months ago because I got this and I found myself loving this even more. I sold a bunch of Kaisers off lately, and this is the only Kaiser I kept. And you might say, well, why? Because of that. And I don't know if you just saw that. This is the Kaiser T1. The Kaiser T1 is by far the best knife Kaiser makes. If you disagree with me, that's fine. show me another one that you think is actually a better made knife than this. Full titanium handles, you know, titanium inlay, you know, your over travel stop is not there. You really don't need it in this thing. But I mean, just look at this. Ready? Whoop, 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 whoop. I barely even have to shake it. It falls and it just flies out of there. I mean, no wrist flex, just thumb. Just stupid smooth. Of course, you got your S35 VN again. So if you notice a pattern, S30V is kind of a baseline. I have one that is not S30V outside of the two cheapos. And that's going to be a surprise to you, and why. But this knife, you got steel on steel. You got your insert there, milled pocket clip, T1 right there. I love the lanyard hole. I'm not a lanyard fan, but it's part of the knife. It's not extra, but the smoothness is even smoother than my Sebenza. Just absolutely great knife. It's elegant. It's my only titanium frame lock I have. This is aluminum and it's a liner lock. And just, it was hard. I got rid of a lot of titanium frame locks, but this takes the cake. It just does. So I kept it, and I've thought about selling it several times, and every time I do, I'm like, what am I going to get to replace it? Because I cannot not have that type of knife in here. Okay, we're going to get into 3 knives that you're going to recognize. Paramilitary 3, or Para 3 is what they call it. Sage 1, Paramilitary 2. And why I kept these 3, and what else did I get rid of? Obviously, I got rid of some extra, like 2 or 3 Kershaws, a ZT, an Emerson, 3 Kaisers. I got rid of 2 other Spydercos. And, you know, I kept these 3, and we're going to go over why I kept these 3. Let's get those off to the side. This is my first Spyderco I ever owned, the Para 3. I had a Delica. Love the Delica. Great knife. I even had Wise Man scales on it. But I have a larger hand. And the ability to choke up and just with that jimping there and the blade shape, this was the smallest Spyderco that I wanted to keep. Sage is a little bit bigger, not by much, but the reason why is the blade shape on that one. I hate the pocket clip. Everybody says on the Para 3, the biggest problem is the pocket clip. They're absolutely right. Go to MXG Gear or someplace and get an extra pocket clip. Put a nice blue one on. I have a silver one. I think I'm going to put that on the Para 2. But absolutely love this knife. I mean, it drops free. S30V. I wish it was S35, but I've never had a problem with the steel on this one. I've had this one a year. I think I've sharpened it once, which was like probably a couple months ago. And this is probably one of the more carried blades. I carry this one at least once a week, maybe twice. Absolutely great knife. Again, extra large gloves. And as long as you, and the thing is, you know, if you don't have chunky fingers, the Para 3 fits great. I mean, I just get in there. Now back here, my pinky almost falls off. It's like it barely catches. So, but when I grab a Para 3 or a Para 2, my hand immediately goes to the choil. And that's how I use this knife. I don't use it any other way. If I want one that I'm going to hold back, I grab the Para 2. But compression lock, great knife. Almost perfect outside of the pocket clip. Pocket clip just sucked. We're going to go to my next, one of my other ones. Spyderco Sage. I sold 3 Mannixes in the last 6 months. I don't know why. I find the Sage to be a better knife than the Mannix. Mannix is ergonomically great, but in the pocket, it's huge. When you close the Mannix, it comes out to like there. It's massive. There's no getting anything else in your pocket. So when I went through my knives, I said, I'm going to keep the Sage. Even if it is a liner lock. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, I want to go straight to the choil, get my thumb up there, and do work. Got the leaf-shaped blade, a lot like the Mannix, a little bit different, but a lot like it. Carbon fiber is why I kept this knife. Super light, like super light. Not Mannix 2 lightweight, not Benchmade bug out, but for a liner lock with full liners, the carbon fiber really lightens this. The wire pocket clip is the best pocket clip Spyderco does. No need to change it. I carry this, along with, I would say this, the Kaiser T1 are my gentleman's carries. Love them. I put them in my suit. They look good. When I need them, they don't freak people out because honestly, the blades aren't that big. What, 3 1/8 and 3? If I need a get work done blade, are my next 2. So we're going to go into those. The last Spyderco I kept is the almighty Para 2 NS110V. The Blurple. Not a huge fan of the scales, but it's the best steel on a Para 2 I had. Absolutely, don't need the choil. Look at that. Let's zoom back a little bit. Don't need the choil. My pinky does not fall off, but I have it if I need it. This one, my hand does not go to choil when I grab this knife. Not like the Para 3 or the Sage. My hand goes straight to the regular handle and thumb on the ramp, and it's a much larger blade. You're talking what? 3 3/8 overall. Is that it? Man, it looks bigger by a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's only 1/2 inch. Oh well. But this is about the biggest blade I want to carry, for good reason that, honestly, I don't need a 4-inch blade in my pocket. I'm not in a rough area, and if I am, this is still big enough. I'm not out there for self-defense, but I love the compression lock. Love the S110V steel. You're going to see some gunk on it because I was using this one today. This is like my user knife besides my favorite knife. Like I was out in the car cleaning, doing things. This is what I put in my pocket because it's lightweight. Great knife. Not for everybody. If I had medium hands, even if I had large hands, not extra large, this is all I would ever need, the Para 3. I actually don't think the Para 2 is great for everybody. I think this fits more people. But this is a great knife. I got extra large hands. It gives me multiple positions and totally worth the price. I've been skipping some prices, so let's go back through. ZT runs about 180. That's a 0770. Kaiser T1, about 180. If you find these on sale, the Para 3s were about 110. Depending on which steel you get, they can go up to higher. Sage 1, about the same price, $100, depending on where you look. PM2 starts at like 120, I believe. This one goes for about 150. Got it in a trade. Absolutely love it. Gonna replace the clip. But you might be asking, like, what is my favorite knife I own? Now, I got a couple extras that I don't carry. They're for sentimental. My wife bought me this on our honeymoon. It's a Buck 290-1. I don't think I ever carry this knife, but I'll never get rid of it. My wife bought it for me. If I'm going to be cutting something that's going to get completely destroyed, I grab this. It's a cheap Schrade. Locks up. I think it was like $10. But I don't really count those in my knife collection. Case XX. My grandfather left me this blade. This thing has been beat. I need to actually just redo it and clean it up. I never carry it, never will. It's sentimental. But my favorite knife is actually this one, but that's not a folder. We'll get into that another time. But my favorite folder, the Buck Marksman. You might be like, well, JD, this is a 154 CM. Yeah, it's 154 CM, but it's treated by Boss, and Boss knows how to heat treat. This is a G&G Hawk collaboration. Why is it my favorite knife? Everybody says, well, you know, it's unique. Absolutely is. That back strap for a lock allows for like super smooth action. I mean, once you learn this blade, it's amazing. You know, I got a lot of wear on it. I've had to adjust it a few times, but it's good in the pocket. I mean, Para 2 is thicker in the pocket. Blade-wise, pretty much the same size as the Para 2. Has a little bit more handle, but you also don't have the choil, so you can't choke up on it. So you have to have a little bit more handle so you're comfortable. In the winter, yes, it's cold. It's an aluminum, you know, handle. But I have beat this blade, and I have only had to strop it to get it back. I have used this blade more than the other 8 combined in the last year. I have worn the Buck sign is like getting worn. I use it up here a lot for cutting boxes, but my hand has worn a lot of this in. Some of it was added on, but most of that's hand wear. Zelric has done an amazing review on this knife, where he distresses it, you know, and for the sake of distressing it. And I accelerated a few of the areas just so it kind of wore evenly. But like way back here, that's all from my hand. I did a little bit up here to kind of, you know, catch it up to the rest of the blade. But the deep carry clip, you know, 2 screws, you can flip it to either side. Super deep carry. The back strap just makes for an amazingly fun knife to play with. And as you can see, once you get the hang of it, you can know when to open it, when to let go, and it catches it. But here, let's get, this is what, I mean, look at that. Just free flowing on bearings, nothing holding it. Just super, super smooth blade. And that is my favorite knife I own. I absolutely, well, favorite folding knife I own. Absolutely love it. Spends more time in my pocket than all the other ones combined. I think Buck knocked it out of the park. You're talking 3.5 inch blade, 154 cm. 154 cm is, you know, a lower end powder steel, but it's, let's see, there we go, G&G Hawk Boss heat treated, and they heat treated this blade to perfection. I've had the Tanto, I sold it, didn't really carry it. I'm not a big Tanto fan, but this one right here, the Tanto has different design on the handle. This is just simple, got some cool little cutouts, but I want more knives with this locking mechanism. I did sand this down a little bit to take the roughness off, but once I did, I mean, it's just so much fun. If you tell me you can only keep one knife on the table, that would probably be it. I'd be sad to see the rest go, but there's a few reasons why. Let's see, let's zoom out and get all these in. There we go. I'm going to go why I'd keep this one over everybody. Steel on these, weight on this, even though it's S35, better steel, it's heavy in the pocket, but I love the color. This one is a really close, I mean, it's a better, personally, it's a better blade, but I like this one better. S35, spring assist, super light carbon fiber. great warranty. Kaiser, love the blade. I'm not sure about their warranty service. Spyderco, great blades. But Buck's warranty, I've seen people send Buck blades back. They turn them around quick, brand new blades, or fix them so good that they're like new. Buck's warranty really gets it for me. Buck has had a really hard time putting out blades that were original, good. They weren't the classic Buck that everybody has come to know. This is original. This is new. It's been out for like a year and a half, 2 years, and I still haven't seen anybody innovate like this at this price point of like $100. Yeah, there are better blades on here, but favorite. Yes, better steel, better steel, better steel, better steel, better steel, better steel. Favorite. Just so much fondability, so much fun, and it just gets it done. But yeah, I mean, all these are a good choice. This is why I kept these blades, though. I mean, Spyderco's you can't beat. I like the size. I like the carbon fiber. I love the steel. I like the paramilitary compression lock. Sebenza-like. Dare I say, stinking as smooth as a Sebenza, if not smoother. But fits in my pocket better. It's just a great knife. A ZT, well, it's a ZT. Lightweight, overbuilt, red, pretty much. If this was any other color, I probably wouldn't have kept it, but I love the red. And beater blades. This one custom, but beater blade right there. But if you have any other questions on why I kept what I kept, please let me know in the comments. You know, why don't you see a Benchmade on here? Benchmade's overpriced. I'm sorry. Why would I spend $100 on a Benchmade Griptilian when I can get a pair of 3 full G10 S30V compression lock? The Axis lock is not worth it for me to deal with those plastic handles that the Griptilian comes with. I don't like them. I think they feel cheap. You get into the Nakamura. The Nakamura G10, great knife, small. Let's go to the Benchmade 940. 940 is a good knife. Don't get me wrong. $170 for the G10 version? No, I'll buy a pair of 2 with S110V for cheaper. Or hey, I can buy Kershaw Link with S35VN. Great knife. I can buy 2 of these and have change left over. It's not that Benchmade is a bad knife. I just think that they're overpriced. People, even with Spyderco's price increase, I think the Delica is overpriced now. But the pair of 3, the Sage 1, and the pair of 2 are still great blades for the price. You know, I had a couple other customs sold to Chris Reeve, kept this. I had a Liang Ma carbon fiber kerf, the kitchen utility folder. Nice blade, love the sweep. $390? No, thank you. I'll buy a ZT and the Kaiser T1. So, I mean, there's reason to my rhyme. I mean, if you disagree, you disagree. That's fine. Everybody's got their point of opinion. But this is what I kept and why I kept it. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. And, you know, I understand. You might say, hey, the Buck Marksman, really? Hey, it fits great. I love the flat spot, and the fondability is the best. I would not fault you if you say ZT, Spyderco, you know, any of them, because they're all great knives. Just my favorite. So, guys, take it easy, and we'll catch you next time.